first movie, bro. This when I was young. And I had just finished shooting this long scene. I took the card out and I accidentally deleted all the footage, bro. And we had filmed the sailing scene for like 4 or 5 hours. I wanted to cry. And I deleted it.
Did you go to film school? WAGWAN fam, welcome to another episode of WAGWAN in Life. I'm your host, Joshua Heron, and today we have with us Mr. BT, Mr. Poor Man, Rich Soul himself. I'm allowed him to introduce himself the WAGWAN way. You already know how we do it over here.
All right. WAGWAN.
Hey.
I'm Jimmy Jenkins, and really appreciate you for having me, and I'm excited about our conversation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you started your producing and directing career at BET in 2013 in Tyler Perry Studios.
Yes.
How did BET and Tyler Perry Studios cater to your growth as a producer and a filmmaker?
Well, I think the biggest thing and most important thing, whenever you want to do something, you got to be able to see it visually. And seeing something on TV is much different than seeing how it really is.
True.
So for me, it was really gave me the opportunity to see it firsthand. Like, what does production really take? What are the elements? Because you see like what they allow you to see on the television box. But in reality, there's a whole different world behind that box that the viewer doesn't see. And I was able to see that at both places, and being able to see it helped.
Take us into those elements. The stuff that I don't know, you know?
Yeah, man. It takes a whole lot to make something look a certain way, man. So you might see 2 people on camera, but there's probably 150 people working to make those 2 people look good. And so it's a huge undertaking to be in production. The thing people don't know about like Tyler Perry worked really hard, bro. Like for me, just being there and seeing him, he's the first one there, the last one out to leave, just to kind of just see his approach, see what he does every day. It just really helped me, man, to be on the physical studio lot, to like see the sound stages. Sometimes when you just see it, man, it makes you believe a certain way. And that's what it did to me. It just helped me to believe, and it just took me to another place.
That's powerful. So 4 years later, 2017, you got to drop your first feature film with BET. With your brother, Sinners Wanted.
Yes.
Take us into that process. How was that?
Well, it wasn't my first. My first was when I was really young. I don't tell people this, but I made a film when I was like 21 years old.
Okay.
It sucked. It was terrible. So I don't even tell people. It's not even on. Like, you can't even watch it if you wanted to. Yeah. So then I did another film in LA at 23 called Miles Away. Okay. That one wasn't too good either. So I got to like mess up a whole lot. Okay. And when I kind of got to Sinners Wanted, I was about 26 years old. You know, it wasn't the greatest film, but it was a good opportunity, and it was a good way for me to get better at my craft. And sometimes it's not about, is it the best thing? Sometimes did you get it done? And for me, that just, all I wanted to do was just to get a real film done, make a real movie. Yeah. And I did it. It was on TV. I didn't have a lot of money, but I did it.
At least you did it.
And it was just my first step. And hopefully now that will just be the first step to help me to go even further.
You said that you didn't have a lot of money. Take us into the power of like utilizing what you have. Yeah. And not focusing like on what you don't have or thinking you can't do something just because you don't have the resources.
Yeah, great. You know, one of the things I really try to focus on, or I try to tell people when they ask me questions concerning this, is if you can't do it with what you have, or if you can't do it with a little bit, you ain't gonna be able to do it with a lot. And so the elements of what you're trying to do in your life, man, whatever it is, if you want to be a wardrobe designer, go make some clothes with your old T-shirts in your closet first. You know, whatever that is. If you want to be a chef, go make a great pasta dish with oodles and noodles first. You know what I mean? And when you're able to do it with nothing, it really elevates you or puts you in a position to know what to do when you have a little bit more. So, you know, we made Sinners Wanted for $100,000. You know, man, you movie stars get paid $2-3 million just for their role. You know what I mean? We spent $100,000 on the whole movie. So, you know, we didn't have a lot of resources, but we just had a dream and a vision, and we just kind of made it happen.
And you did that movie with your brother, correct?
Yep, me and my brother.
How was it working with your brother?
Oh man, it's great. It's easy, man. It's easy like Sunday morning.
Easy.
You know, so me and my brother know how to work together. Yeah. So it's things are easier when I work with him. Since we were like little, we would always like do little things around the house, but we didn't know what it was gonna like kind of come up to. You know what I mean? It was just like, we're gonna do this little play for our family members on Christmas or Thanksgiving, but we didn't know that we were really preparing ourselves for our future. Yeah. And my brother's the reason I kind of got started in it. Is he started doing plays in my church, and that's kind of how I really started to actually do real production.
That is dope. That is dope. And speaking of your brother, you guys also co-found Gold Street Productions, your production company. When was that found? Like, what's the purpose of that company?
Gold Street is just more like our studio. Like you look at Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry has a parent company. You know what I mean? Then he has his own company under that. So it's just more of our parent company that we founded a couple years ago with our partner Tim White. He's out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's a great business mind, and now we're kind of together, just getting ready for our launch. We've got a lot of projects that's just been in development, and it's just kind of been going from there. One
of those, correct me if I'm wrong, one of those projects are Playwatch Kids, correct?
Playwatch Kids. Playwatch isn't necessarily under Gold Street. That's a separate entity.
Okay.
But that is a big project for me. I'm very excited. My nephews came up to me one day and said, "Look, Jimmy, I want to look like this." I look on his iPad. It was a white superhero. So I said, your skin is fine. Your skin is beautiful. But he didn't know, because all the superheroes, all the stuff on his iPad was just white characters, white heroes. It wasn't no black heroes for him to see. And so that's kind of where Playwatch came. I wanted to create a platform for all children that it's not hard for you to find a black superhero kid. Yeah. It's not fair. A black kid, an Indian kid, a Spanish kid should be able to go find heroes that look like them, like plethoras of them. And it's very hard to find. And so, or if you do find, it's like few and far between. I don't think that's fair for children.
Why is it important for kids, minority kids, to see themselves on the TV, but like in the form of superhero through that medium of cartoon, something they could connect to? Why is that important for you?
Man, I think what you see is what you believe. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's just across the board. Whatever you see is what you're going to believe. And for so many years, you can look at the history of production, of media, of how our messages are sent through the mediums. It was never a way for African Americans to be prominent. It was rare when you kind of seen that. And you got to look at the history of our country. 100 years ago, they barely wanted you to know you can read. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a reason why they didn't allow African Americans to be the main characters in the 30s and the 40s, and it's a reason why you don't have a lot. It was a reason, because if you start to see yourself a certain way, you start to believe something. And the worst thing at the time was for a young black kid to realize their potential for society. And that's what I want to help these young kids do. Just realize that you can be whatever you want to be if you just truly believe in it.
Speaking of play and Playwatch Kids, I want to talk to you about your plays. Black Boy Blues. Is this your first play?
No, that wasn't my first play. It was one of my favorite ones.
Okay.
I did that about 25 years old, I think, or 24.
I know you mentioned that it got immediate success.
Yeah.
Why do you think that play specifically got immediate success?
Because it had a backstory of Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was a very, very prominent community that was bombed in 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So that was the backstory to that piece. And I think that a lot of people, when I did it, nobody was talking about Black Wall Street. Like, nobody knew about it. And that play was like in 2015 or 2016. People weren't talking about it. But now, like, in the recent 2 years, people have been doing pieces on Black Wall Street. But I think it picked up so much traction because people weren't talking about it. And to see that there was this prominent African-American community that got bombed by U.S. government. That's like so crazy, bro. They bombed them. Like, they bombed a black community. And it's just crazy how you could do something like that.
Yeah. Did you have any like fears of producing something that wasn't like really talked about, or like were you motivated more to do it just?
More motivated, man, because I have no fears after what our ancestors went through, bro. Like, if you afraid to just speak up after what they did, I don't even think there's a reason for you to be living. You know what I mean? What you got to live for if you ain't got nothing to stand on? So I have something to stand on, and I got the great ones and the histories of the people that came before me and the foundation they laid. I'm just trying to do my part.
Feel you. So 6 to 7 years later came Poor Man, Rich Soul.
Yes.
I saw that play, and that play was like, there was like a barometer of like amazing, like it broke it. Like it broke it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Thank you.
Tell the crowd what that play was about, your mission with that play, the trials and tribulations in producing that play.
Yeah. So Poor Man Rich Soul, it stemmed from a Bible verse. Jesus was on the cross. Jesus was on hanging. He had a man to the left. He had a man to the right. One man who was a murderer asked God, please, just ask God to remember me. As you know, that's what Stingray asked. We had another man who just asked, if you really are God, come down and save us right now. And God forgave the ones who crucified him. So if you could be a murderer, do the worst things in the world, and God still forgive these people, don't you think he can forgive you too for anything that you've done? And that's kind of what I just wanted to do, is just to give a portrayal to people that, like, you can get all the riches in the world, but what does it mean if your soul not right? Yeah. And that was the inspiration for it. We did it at the historic Duke Ellington Theater, which is the school of a lot of great people like Dave Chappelle. We had some really good turnouts. People came out to support it. Yeah. And I think that project has a lot of legs. It can really, it's got a lot of runway to kind of to go out. So I'm excited to see what happens with that, man. Yeah. I'm excited to see what happens with
like
it.
I was even telling you off camera, like that production planted seeds that you probably won't even know. Wow. You understand? Yeah. And it's like, so it's like, for, you know, the gospel to be presented to somebody outside of that, because of what you produce, you understand? It's like, that's like kingdom growth right there. Like, it's bigger than yourself. You feel me? So it's like, take us into how, like, your faith, you know, goes into the pieces that you produce. Oh man,
everybody has a style in a unique way they tell story. Every creator, every artist is unique, but all of my work stems from what I've seen in my life and what I've known, and God has been so good to me, bro, where I've seen him physically, like, do the unthinkable in my life, you know what I mean? And it's what I believe. Yeah. So it's hard for you to write or to act upon something you don't believe in. And so it don't matter what it is, man. Like, you could be making shoes. If you don't believe in the type of shoe you make it, what are you making it for? You know what I mean? And so for me, it's just about what I believe, bro. And my belief inside of what I am, bro, is like, it's in the essence of God. That's like my whole being, who I am. Without him, I have no way to survive. And I want people to experience what I've experienced with God. And so that's why I kind of use that as a
like a platform.
As a platform, foundation. Exactly.
What did you learn about yourself more through this play?
Man, bro, I didn't have the script done like.
You procrastinated?
Bro, I was in like Alabama. I didn't have it was like June 1st. I didn't have the script.
And this thing dropped like July 7th.
Yeah, bro. But I had scripts written, but I didn't like them.
Got you.
So June 1st, I was like, yo, I don't like this script. Dang. And I said, you know what? I'm blocking everything out. Yeah. I'm focusing all week to get this script right. And I just literally blocked out everything in my world in like 20-hour days, all day. I'm just writing all day, every day. I'll go to sleep for like a couple hours, wake up, do it again. But what it taught me is that when you really put your mind to something, everything's so mental, because I was struggling so much before, like, man, I can't figure this story out. I can't figure it out. But when I made up my mind, I said, this is what I'm going to do. And I put my goal was Saturday, I'm going to have a good rough draft done. I don't care. Come hell or hot water, I'm doing it. And then that is when it just taught me, like, man, it doesn't matter what you do. All of your restrictions are within yourself. Anything that hinders you is all here. And once you learn that this is so powerful, you can do whatever you want to do.
It's crazy how you mentioned, like, the script wasn't done until like a month before. It's like, people think like these ideas sometimes, you know, yes, they do come from like years before, but sometimes like they don't get done to like, you know, that last minute. And it's okay, because some people have that last minute job to get things.
You're kind of like living through it. That's the way I see it. It's like it's living and it's breathing and it's evolving as you progress through the piece, and then you can present it in that final form, so that now everyone has to go through that process. But you're really, if you're being authentic, you're gonna live and embody what it is that you're kind of working towards.
Yeah, and saying that, like it wasn't that I wasn't doing the work.
Yeah, exactly.
I was doing the work the whole time. It just wasn't the way I wanted it to be. Yeah. And even though, and it's like being authentic, and sometimes it takes time, bro. Yeah. It takes a lot of time, and that's kind of what it took for me, is just time of evolution, time of creating, time of understanding the project, because as you understand your project, like, your character is going to speak to you. Yeah. And so it just kind of took that for me, but it's just like, man, you just got to go through the process People think just because they like say they writing the script and they can't figure it out, you're getting closer to where you got to go. Sure. You got to like write those bad scripts and eventually it'll come out. But I'm like glad you guys like enjoyed it. I'm glad you came out to see it, but that's somebody's life. Like it ain't about the money. It's about somebody leaving with their life impacted. So that's my whole goal. And even what y'all doing here is about impacting other people's lives. So that's the key, bro. That's the key.
Man, that was very encouraging. Just to know, like, you know, you don't have to get something right away. You understand? Like, look where you are now. It's like, for anybody who's like at a writer's block, at a creative block, it's okay. It's okay to be at a block. Yeah. You understand? But it's just about moving that block, putting it somewhere else.
Exactly.
And just keep building.
And just keep building.
On a solid foundation.
Exactly. That's all it's about, bro. Building on a solid foundation. Bro.
Yes, sir.
So is writing like a big part of your process, like even when it comes to documentary work, or do you let that be more free form?
Oh, no. I have to have very, very detailed outlines before I do anything. It's my roadmap. Some people can just kind of go into it and just figure it out as you go. But I need a roadmap. Right. I need to know, okay, where this story's going. Now, during that process, especially with documentaries, sometimes that roadmap changes. Right. But I got to go into it with something tangible that I can kind of hold on to. And I always try to have, especially with documentaries, with narrative feature films, you got your script, you got your roadmap or whatever. It really don't change too much now. Don't get me wrong, I change the script all the time. Like my movie Centers Wanted, I changed the ending 2 days before we were supposed to shoot the scene. Okay. But with documentaries, you're gonna have a whole lot of changes as you begin to talk to people and build out. So I always have a roadmap, but that roadmap always changes. Yeah. No matter what it is. Always gotta be adaptable. Sometimes you can't, you run out of time and then you don't get this location no more. So you gotta rewrite your whole scene right there. You know what I mean? And get everybody to learn.
I want to talk about like me and like a director and producer, and like I don't think people realize sometimes like how much tribulations you guys go through. Like if an actor's not ready, an actress not ready, you know, someone's, you know, wrong on set. Like how do you personally like mentally get through those things, like a change of location and things of that nature?
Bro, I think that God has for all of us has given us a gift, bro, whether we believe it or not. Like he's implanted in all of us a gift. And the purpose of a gift is to give it to somebody. That's why you get Christmas, they say gifts, is because you're giving something. So God has given us this gift to give. And for that, if he's given us the gift, that means he has given us what it takes to be able to produce that gift the way it's supposed to be. So what it just always reminds me of when things get difficult, it's like, this is why God put me on this earth, and he's going to make sure I find a way to figure it out. And it's never failed. It's never failed, man. And everything you go through is just preparing you for whatever that is. Yep. You know what I mean? So I just go into that, man. I've prepared for this. I've been called for this. I've been, you know, for this moment. Yeah. And that's kind of how it helped me grow. And I don't even like to say people work for me. I don't like to say you work for me. We work together. Without me, I work for you. Right. Just like I don't, you know what I mean? And it's just about making those people feel that way. And when you make people feel important, you make people feel precious, then they give you their best work. Yeah. And all that prepared you for 2020 when you did a documentary film with executive produced by Kevin Durant. Yes. He's super involved, man. He's you ask him questions, man, I asked him about the name. I was like, yo, should we call it In the Water? He's like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So like, you know, he's involved to a certain extent, but he also has people that are in place that know those things that kind of, you know, are really involved in the creative process. So yeah, the film is called Basketball County in the Water. Tell us what it's about. It's just about this place called Prince George's County right outside of D.C. and all the great NBA players that came out of the area and how basketball helped to shape the community for good. Yeah, PG County got some ballers. I ain't gonna lie. Some players, bro. Got some ballers. I know Quentin Cook out there. I think Trevor Keels is from out there. He just came to the Knicks. Hopefully, you know, my Knicks. Hopefully, you know, my Knicks. Yeah, man. Yeah. You know, hearing people say they come from PG County and things of that nature, it's like, it's very like a family-minded county. Like, take us into that family-minded, because you were born and raised there, right? So take us into that like family mindset of PG County, because like all you think about is family when you. I mean, bro, it wasn't cool to say you was from PG County 15 years ago, bro. Nobody was saying it. Yeah. It was PG was the wannabes that want to be from DC.
Got you.
You know what I mean? But now it's totally different. You know what I mean? Now it's like you PG, you rep it. You from PG, you let everybody know. Yeah, and it's just more, I just think that people are proud of it now. You know, people are more proud. It's a place to be proud to be from. It's a lot of great people that have came from there. And so now it's no longer like, man, it's like the little stepchild. Nah, like we our own. Like, and we're just putting on, bro. And it's natural, bro. It's like, bro, we've got everybody, movie stars, athletes, politics, everybody from this smart, and it's African, mostly African American. You know what I mean? So it's affluent. These people are doing great things. So it's like, it's a great place, bro. It's a great place. You know.
Speaking of Canada and speaking of Kevin Durant, that's no worries. Speaking of Kevin Durant, let's let the cat out the bag. You do got some projects in Canada coming up, no?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I'm working on a project similar to Basketball County, but it's for Canada. Canada has been putting out a lot of NBA lottery picks from this small area. And so just kind of working on that piece is something I'm very excited about. It should be coming out probably late 23 or 2024.
Okay.
When it comes to documentaries, when you go to these places and you work with these people, I know I can only imagine you're connecting with them and you're actually like interacting and engaging with the true people. But like someone like Mike Tyson just had an issue with Hulu because they put a whole documentary together that he had no say in. And like you see that in different situations. I was just wondering what your take is on that. Like when it comes to like creating in that world, do you have the right to just tell any story, or do you feel the necessity to tap in with like the people that are true to what you're trying to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, great. I mean, you know, I know the type of stories I'm supposed to tell. Like you can anybody can go tell a story about X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? You can go tell whatever you want. But at the end of the day, you know, for me, I know the type of stories I want to tell, right? And it's like a very concrete line of, okay, this is the type of stories. This is my lane. Yeah, I know my lane, bro. And I try not to deviate from it. Because I think when you start to deviate from what you're supposed to do, man, that's when you start to get tricky. But like, I know my lane and I just try to stay in it, man. And try to just tell authentic stories that fit my morals. Yeah. My moral compass. That's it. Like I got offered to produce a documentary on like this guy, how he died and like the creepy, sneaky stuff he was doing. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like that ain't my lane.
That's powerful because it's like you have an opportunity, like that's you making more bank right there, but then you reject it because you want to maintain the integrity of who you are and what you believe in.
I'm not, everybody want money, but I'm cool. I'm not trying to go be a quadrillionaire, bro. I'm not trying to have trillions and billions of dollars. That ain't my goal. I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna make millions of dollars. That's fine with me, man. Like it's important to maintain integrity because if you don't have nothing, like I said earlier, if you ain't standing on nothing, then you ain't what you got to say. Like I don't want to talk to nobody that got no morals, that don't stand on nothing, man. Like if you don't got nothing you stand firm on, that you won't waver from, I don't want to be around you because that just means you got nothing that holds you. You have no integral character. And like for me, man, I've experimental stuff. I used to do like music videos, bro, but I started doing that, but that just wasn't my thing. Yeah, music video. I just wasn't good at it, bro. I just wasn't good, bro. I used to do them, but they just wasn't good. Yeah. And so I just stopped doing that. But I've done my share of things for music videos, man. I used to write music, man. I used to like write songs, bro.
What kind of songs?
Like R&B songs.
Really?
Yeah. I used to write songs for like a lot of artists. Music, bro. That's how I find my stories, through music, bro.
Like you be listening to music, like you writing it and you script on it?
All day, bro.
I feel you.
What you listen to? Like what's your artist? If you like R&B?
When I write, I don't listen to R&B when I write. It depends on whatever the mode is. Like I listen to all types of music. I like, bro, I got, you ever heard of like Ben Harper? Ben Harper is great. Jack Johnson. I love older music. Like I love music from like the 60s, the 70s. The 80s are good. The 50s, 40s got good music.
There's like a rawness to it.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
like analog.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you ever shot on film? Like is that ever been? Like what's your experience with film versus digital? Like,
I mean, digital's easier.
Yeah.
That's why I think that film back then, the movies were better back then because it was way harder to make it. Now you can just kind of just make a movie with a digital. It's so much easier. That's why I think the craft has been sacrificed quite a bit, which I think has been you kind of feel it in your stories. But then again, at this point, man, there's been so many stories told. You got to really find your way to be different and unique.
So if you've ever had an issue like with a hard drive or like lost footage or any nightmares like that,
man. I had nightmares. Bro, I had nightmares with that.
like
bro.
that's universal.
It happened to everybody, bro. Now,
It's the worst feeling.
bro, one time I'm showing my first movie, bro. This when I was young, bro. It's like 22 years old. But bro, we were filming and I had just finished shooting this long scene. I took the card out and I accidentally deleted all the footage, bro. And we had filmed the scene for like 4 or 5 hours. I wanted to cry. Yeah. And I deleted
That's
it.
sickening.
Did you go to film school?
I was a film major.
You're a film, okay.
But it wasn't like a film school, but I was a film major, media production and stuff like that. But that's what I studied.
It's
in
crazy.
college.
I took last year. I took my first like media production class with a professor at Howard here, and my like perspective of your work just changed. Like even see what he's doing behind the scenes. Like it's behind the scenes that most of the work is put in. It's like we get to see the good part of it. You know?
Yeah, I can't watch movies the same. Like when I go to the movies, I can't appreciate it the same as most people because I'm thinking about all the back end.
Fact, I'm looking at the light, the color, the cutoff, the pictures, everything.
That's how I am, bro.
Yeah. Like an analytical point of view. Because like that's like the power of knowledge. Because it's like you have a further understanding of how this thing is made, and it's like now you can critique it at a deeper understanding. Before I close out, I have a couple questions left for you, but. Following you on like the social and stuff like that. I see you're a big Maryland football fan, college football fan. Yeah. But I don't know that
I got this PSU on right now, so I hope y'all can't see that back there.
You
got that Penn State. My sister was the coach at Penn State, so
okay.
I got family ties. Yeah.
And he got the excuse. You know?
Yeah, I got
but you also you got a Crimson Tide color hat on.
Yes, yes, I do. I got Chris's. This is LA. This LA. Just a LA. I didn't even realize the Alabama colors here.
Exactly. So you are working with the powerhouse Alabama.
Yeah.
Take us through that. How's that been? You know, producing that documentary with Alabama, Nick Saban, being around the GOAT of college football coaching.
Oh man, it's been great. Just being around greatness, it rubs off, man. Just to see what greatness is like, being able to be around it and kind of seeing Nick Saban in his element and understanding the players and what they kind of go through on an everyday basis. It was just really, really great. But for me to be able to just work in my gift, man, I'm really lucky, bro. I'm 31 years old and I'm just in my passion. I'm in what God has put me on this earth to do, and I'm so lucky. Yeah. And I just want to just do the best I can. And it's a lot of pressure to tell this story, but I think that God's prepared me for this moment, and I'm gonna do everything I can in my power to tell it the best way I can.
I know He's prepared you for what's next too. You got a fast moving brain. Yeah. I know you do, because you got to have one as a director and a producer. So up next is the WAGWAN 4 and 4, in which I ask you 4 questions in 4 seconds. Think you got it?
Yes.
You got 4 seconds. You sure?
Got it.
All right.
Okay.
You ready?
All right.
All right. What's easier to produce, a film or a play?
What's easier?
Yeah.
Play.
Movie.
I'm sorry. Okay, I messed up. All right. Okay. All right. I got 3 more tries. Okay. All right. Let's go.
All right. You ready?
All right.
Simple one answer.
Okay.
Hardest part in producing a film?
Planning.
You just made it. Will we ever see a Poor Man, Rich Soul film?
Yes.
KD is the best player for PG County. We all know that. Who's the second best player?
Quinn Cook. That's my best friend.
All right. What's the biggest advice you would give someone who's pursuing a career in film, media, producing, things of that nature? Even on cameraman here, Matt Kenny.
Man, I would just say, don't worry about the whole staircase. Just take a step. Just like do something every day. And even when you feel like you're not doing anything, you're doing something. Like just watch a movie, like whatever it is, do something to get better at your craft every day. You want to be in film, watch a movie every day. Just do it. You know what I mean? Study it. Whatever that is, just take a step every day into some direction of what you want to do. For me, I think that sometimes when we begin to get burned out or get discouraged, man, I think sometimes we just need to step back for a little bit and let yourself rest and think. I think sometimes we try to do stuff every single day. Like, you need to allow breaks for yourself. Yeah. You need to allow rest. And that's what's really helped me when I'm frustrated and I can't figure it out. I detach myself from it for a few days or whatever. So I think rest and understanding how to detach yourself from things for certain moments But it's all a science. It's all an art, and you got to kind of understand what you need. And the only way you can understand what you need is by pushing yourself to the limit and kind of seeing what the things are that you need to be as successful as you can.
So what everybody needs is food.
Yes.
So this is where we're going to the YAAD Eat spot of this section of the show, in which you snack on a Jamaican meal. We got, you already know, we got something common today, but it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes the common is good, Mr. Jenkins.
Okay.
But today, we got some beef patties. Awesome. Let me say beef patty.
Beef patty. Beef patty.
Beef patty. There you go, bro.
Awesome.
Cool.
Cool. So y'all do this every episode. You have somebody.
Jamaican snack.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. You know, the crazy thing is, yesterday I had some Jamaican food.
Where was it?
Yeah. It was good. It was real good. I had what did I have yesterday? I had some jerk chicken, some curry chicken, some cabbage rice.
Chill. What's your favorite Jamaican meal? Like what?
Probably curry chicken.
Curry chicken?
And I like jerk chicken, but it just depends on how spicy it is. Nah.
No, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Okay.
You gotta go.
All right, cool,
Cheers.
Cool. Cheers.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Yes, sir.
Feel free to eat. But what's something in your film career that you haven't done that you would like to do?
One thing I haven't done that I would like to do is I want to do a TV series.
Narrative? So more of like a drama or like?
Yeah, like a drama. I'm working on this new movie. I think the new movie can probably make a way for that.
Alright.
Already know.
Yeah.
There's no YAAD Eats without a potential yard big up. I gotta say potential. I know where these people stand. So we got a rivalry with Hampton here at Howard over who's the real HU. You know, I gotta ask Mr. PG County himself to declare Howard as the real HU. Please.
Well, I was supposed to come to Howard.
Okay. That makes it easier.
But I've been around this area so long. I was like, I want to get away. I want to go somewhere else. But I will say, all I know is Howard. This is where I grew up. So I grew up right here around Howard. So the real HU is Howard University, for sure. I don't know nothing about Hampton, man. I ain't never been there.
Yeah.
So,
That's dope. It was a pleasure having you on today, Mr. Jenkins. It was the gems that you dropped was amazing. Seriously, like heart to heart, for real. Once again, Poor Man's show was amazing. I tell you over and over again.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much, man.
Of course.
Thank you guys for allowing me to be here, and y'all continue to support these guys, man. They got something really, really amazing coming up, and I'm happy to just be a part of it, man.
Thank you,
Really
boss.
happy to be a part of it.
WAGWAN fam, thank you for watching us again here in another episode. Love y'all. Big up. God bless. Till next time. Peace.